The market demand curve is the horizontal summation of all individual demand curves for a good, also simply called as the demand curve. This graph shows an example of the horizontal summation of individual demand curves to derive the market demand curve. Even if the demand curves of individuals are not smooth, the market demand curve will be smooth because people have different tastes and preferences. Consumer surplus is the difference between what a person is willing to pay for an additional unit of a good, or the marginal benefit of a good, and the market price of the good. Consumers always like to feel like they are getting a good deal on goods and services they buy, and consumer surplus is simply an economic measure of dissatisfaction. For example, assume a consumer goes out shopping for a new cell phone and is willing to spend $250. When this individual finds that the cell phone on sale is only $150, economists would say that this person has a consumer surplus of $100. This is a graphical illustration of the consumer surplus for an individual and for the market. For the market as a whole, the consumer surplus is the sum of the consumer surpluses of all individuals in the market. This can be found by taking the area below the demand curve and above the price. An individual who is willing to pay less than the market price and hence did not purchase the good will have a consumer surplus equal to 0. A higher price will result in a smaller consumer surplus for the market and the individual. A lower price will result in a larger consumer surplus for the market and the individual. If consumers can adjust consumption of a good in small increments, such as fractions of a pound, then the consumer will buy an amount for which the price equals the marginal benefit. This is what we call the price equals marginal benefit rule. This rule helps explain a famous paradox in economics, what we call the diamond water paradox. A paradox is a seemingly contradictory statement that may nonetheless be true. The diamond water paradox asks, why are diamonds expensive and water cheap even though diamonds are less useful to the world's population than water? The explanation is, using our price equals marginal benefit rule, we can argue that the price of diamonds are high because the marginal benefit is high. The price of water is low because the marginal benefit of an additional glass of water is low. The total benefit we get from water may be high, but because it is very abundant, about 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, the marginal benefit we get from one additional unit of water is low. Hence, the price of water is low. The total benefit we get from diamonds may be less than the total benefit we get from water. However, because diamonds are more scarce than water, the marginal benefit from diamonds are higher. Hence, a higher price for diamonds.